I enjoyed me today is Charles Johnson, who fights Ramazan Temirov at UFC Vegas 103. That fight is on March 1st. So, Charles, we got to start here. Going into 2024, you're on a three-fight losing streak. You absolutely blast through the flyweight division in 2024, 4-0, one of three fighters to win four fights in the UFC during that year. Give me the secret to success. What changed for you in that time period?
There is no secret. It's just this is MMA fighting, There's peaks and valleys. 2024 was the beginning of some things to come, and I think it will continue. And we're excited, man. All the work and hard work over the last 10 years and put into the sport, nine, 10 years put into the sport day in, day out is finally coming to fruition. So we're just kind of excited about it.
That's awesome. Now, it's been nearly 5 months since we've seen you fight. And obviously, you rattled off fights at a crazy rate during 2024. Was that sort of by design? Did you feel like you needed a little time out of the cage, or was it more just like, not finding the right fight at the right time?
No, that's all on my matchmaker in the UFC. I think other guys needed to get fights done, and it was the end of the year, and maybe they had contracts to fill, or he had a certain direction of where he wanted to go with certain fighters and things. It's only so many places on cards. The UFC is it's a big entity, so it's a lot of fighters to fight, and this is where he decided I would fight next. So this is where I'm fighting. I tried to get some other opportunities and step up on some other fights where guys fell out, and I wasn't chosen for those opportunities. I really wanted to do some special things in 2024. I wanted to get that fifth fight to cement myself in flyweight history, first to ever do that in one calendar, in less than a calendar year. It would have been because had my first fight in February. It would have been five in 2024, and then I could have possibly had a sixth around this time this year. I was trying to do something special, something that hadn't been done before. Unfortunately, the UFC had other plans, so here we are in March, taking on Ramazan.
And so for you, obviously that record, as you were getting closer and closer to it, started to mean something to you. Is it still important for you, or is sort of, we're refocusing now that we're towards the top of the division, now that we're towards, probably some fights that are talking about contender fights?
It's kind of like that thing when people hold on the rope too long, and you're trying to make something happen, and I feel like I have other things, bigger things in store for me. So I'm just focused on what I do when I'm in there these next 15 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. And to get my hand raised and very excited. Just focused on those next 15 minutes, focused on quality every single minute, every single second, domination. So that's all I'm focused on. And I know that, whatever happens after that, I've already done enough to show my value in this promotion. And hopefully, we start getting these opportunities that are out there.
Absolutely. And so I'm going to ask you a little bit about training. I want to go back to those opportunities in a second, but I noticed you did some traveling for this training too. Saw time with Mike Perry down in Florida. Can you give us a little insight? What have you been up to during this, kind of a little bit longer of a training camp for you?
Yeah, so I train at Fusion XL. So Mike Perry's trained there for mixed martial arts for years. He hasn't recently because he's doing bare knuckle and boxing now. So he trains with my guy James Taylor over at Technique Boxing. So that's where we ran into each other and got our photos. But he was there on the night I was there training, and we just he all when he sees me now, he's like, hey, bro, let's go. He excited to see me. He knows who I am now. Mike Perry's a big celebrity in fighting right now, so a lot of people know who he is. So for me, it's just another teammate, basically another person to look at, be around, rub elbows. But, we just working, man. This is what we do. We're professionals. These guys are my boys, man. Like, we're all cool. It's not buddy buddy, but we're all cool, man. Like, if you need me for something, you gotta ask, right? So, but I'm my boy Phil Rowe, Mike Davis, Terrence McKinney, Lucas Alexander, and my head coach, Julian Williams are and Manny Ramirez. Like that's the main guys that I work with out here. And then I got some other guys who are like amateurs and jujitsu based that really put in the time and effort to be bodies and be there for me to learn from and work with. And I appreciate them a lot. And so my this newfound family here at Fusion Excel has been great. It's a great system. Julian Williams does a phenomenal job with his athletes. This today we have it's Saturday, February 15th. Today we have Rodolfo Vieira fighting. It's going to be a great fight. He has a great opponent in front of him. Um, and we're just excited, man. The team's doing some great things. We had 3 guys last week on the Saudi card, last event on the Saudi card. So just consistent presence with Fusion Excel, Murcielago MMA as well. My boy Chaos Williams this weekend. That's my family. Murcielago, Coach Joaquin Murcielago, putting on for Michigan always, and always putting out guys who are going to come in there and put on a show. Been in the game forever. So, this group of men, these people I have around me, Justin Hardig, my strength and conditioning coach, he's here in Florida with me now for these next 2 weeks from Michigan as well. Just man, this we have the formula and we're just working it and we're just continuing to do that. It's no secret sauce. It's just consistency and mindset. That's it. Consistency, mindset, getting in there. And you have plenty of information out there to learn how to become a winner. It's about you putting the action to it, right? It's so much information in the world for mixed martial artists now. If you want to learn how to do this, if you want to be a mixed martial artist, if you want to do it, you gotta get up and every day, and it's not gonna be easy. So we have the formula. It's in me already, energy. So we excited, man.
Absolutely. And that formula worked really well, particularly in your last 2 fights. You take out Joshua Van, you take out Sumu Derji, a couple of guys who are, in the rankings or been in the rankings constantly, people who people talked about being upstart stars. But I got to ask, you're talking about Temirov, who is a dangerous opponent, a tough guy. Were you a little bit surprised that that was the next step for you when, those names before seemed, I don't want to say bigger, but like almost like more on the tongue of people in the space?
They are bigger names. They were ranked opponents. Josh Van has done great things in his promotion. I'm his only loss. Sumu Darji was ranked the majority of the time in this promotion. He's going to be fighting out his contract coming up in April. Phenomenal fight against me. He looked the best he's ever looked. He trained his ass off for that fight, you can tell. And I think he's going to go on a win streak. Honestly, if he fights guys the way that he fought me, I don't see too many guys him having problems with. He'll be right back in the rankings. And for me, it's just continue what I'm doing. I think I just match up very well against everyone. And I don't think I know I do. And once I break the mold of these 3 rounders into 5 rounders, they'll start seeing really special things. I'm made of the Marab elk when it comes to cardio, when it comes to pace. Everyone who trains with me in the gym is like, this dude is crazy. Like he just keeps going like round after round. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I got to hit this pace earlier. I got to hit this second win faster. I got to get this. But to them, they're like, second round, like, so for me, it's just about, continually put out this product where the UFC will see my value and I continue to grow my star. And I'm doing it the hard way right now. But eventually, when that machine gets behind you of the UFC, they make everyone into the star they want to. Look at Peyton Talbot. No one knew who that kid was a year ago. No one knew who he was. They can make anyone into a star, anyone they choose. And I have all the tools. I have all the relationship values. I'm an honest, upfront, transparent individual. And I work my ass off. I'm family oriented. So I know it's only coming with a little bit more time. And I just got to go out there and um, like Coach Joaquin Murcielago said, this guy's in the way. He's in the way of everything that I've been pursuing. He has no risk. If he loses, he's still going to be fighting out his first contract. For me, I'm looking to change my family's life and move into 6 figures after this fight. And I'm not there, and I want to get there, and I believe that's my value. So I have to go out here and dominate, man. Go out here and show them my value to this promotion, show them what I can be, and show them that I can main event these things. It's hard doing it as the first fight of the night. It's hard doing it against guys on their second fight in the UFC because at the end of the day, I go out here and destroy him. Like, yeah, he's an experienced value dude, but at the end of the day, he's not ranked and he's not one of these placeholder names that have been in the promotion. So that's what I was looking forward to. So it's just the next step, next guy up. And I'm just looking at Charles Oliveira's career arc. I'm looking at Max Holloway's career arc. They lost early in their careers. They were 50-50 in their careers at one point in time. And then they went on large win streaks. And I know I'm made of that same cloth, that same ilk. And yeah, just for me to keep showing and dominating.
I love it. Now you mentioned in there too, that the fact that he is on his second fight and it is the first fight of the night. Does that bring any additional pressure to need to do something spectacular, to need to put on an absolute clinic on him? Or, is it more, I got to get the W no matter what?
It's no pressure. It's no pressure. Just win, dominate. And I'm training that way every day. So just go in there and do what I do every day. I'm doing 2 and 3 days for the past 4 months, and it's natural, it's normal for me. It's not hard for me. This is my life. My wife just walked in here while we were on the interview, gave me my breakfast, eggs and avocado. Like this is what I do daily. This is who I am. This is my lifestyle. I moved my family to Orlando to be completely immersed in only this, becoming a world champion. And so I'm the leanest I'm probably the leanest I've ever been before a fight. I'm really strong right now. I'm really strong right now. Um, Everywhere. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually, but like skill system wise, being in Julian Williams' system. I'm very excited to go out here and put things together and not only like test myself to break that mold until that next I go out here and put on a show like Manel did his last fight. They'll make that fight. They'll make a fight similar to that for me. So I just got to go show these guys, who I am again. Like I had to do with the LFA when I came back, after 2 years and COVID and everything. My first fight, I had to show everyone like I'm different, So I'm right there. I feel like I'm right where I was before my LFA title contention and my LFA title run. I'm right in that same mindset, feeling like yeah, it's about to happen. And 2 fights, maybe less, maybe less than 3 fights, 2, 3 fights. I'm thinking maybe 2 only it'll take if I get the right name next. So it's focused on this one. The work I put in for this one is going to carry over to the next one, and the work I put in for the next one is going to keep carrying over. So I'm just excited, man. Like I keep saying I'm excited, but because I truly am, I'm thankful. I'm not like my ego's nowhere, like to be found. It's just this is what it is. This is the road that I'm having to trek. This is the path they're giving me, and it's okay. I have to talk to my manager sometimes and vent some things out, but that's what my manager's for. That's what my team is for, and I'm 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 just gonna make sure I make the most of these opportunities every time I step in there.
I love it. Well, let's talk about the next opportunity. Once again, we've been talking about him the whole time. Ramazan Temirov. Give us a little thoughts on the style matchup, and if you've got one for me, hit me with a prediction for March 1st.
Um, I'm gonna make him look silly. I really am. His style is he's quick, he's fast, he'll land some punches here and there. Um, it's no one to emulate me. There is no one in his training room to emulate me. Song Yadong doesn't fight like me. Those guys at Alpha Male don't fight like me. Those guys in Uzbekistan don't train and fight like me. They don't have the cardio in me. They can't switch stance and press you from both sides like me. They can't do what I do. You can prepare as much as you try to focus on things you had success with Sumadarji. At the end of the day, he doesn't have the same tools as Sumadarji, you know? So I expect Team Alpha Male to come out with a similar game plan. Think they're gonna have the same success they had with Sumudarji in the hand fighting and grappling situations. I've been in a new system for 5 months and really been able to soak it up. I'm gonna be a different athlete in there, and it's not gonna be the same fight. And he doesn't have the tools that Sumudarji had, and so they can feed him false confidence. You know, they can feed him first round, go knock this guy out. If your best bet is to knock me out, you're gonna lose every time. Point blank, period. You're not finishing me, brother. So I'm gonna dominate this kid. This man, he's very experienced. It's gonna be a tough fight. Um, but it's oil and water, man. How I move, how he moves, pick party. Gonna tear him apart.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. This has been Charles Johnson, who fights Ramazan Temirov at UFC Vegas 103. Once again, that fight, March 1st. Charles, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.